Hey! I hope you didn't miss us too much yesterday, baby, because it's time for slashing and bashing here. It's time for an edition of Guts, Goblins Under the Stairs. That's all right to destroy here, ready to slash and bash your Monday night away with his epic crew of conquerors. You got Frank the Man, who just looked real super cool over there with his cool sunglasses at nighttime. Indoors, may I add here. You got the Invisible Man, Wilmore Chanton. Well, there he's back. It's magic. And of course, to take us away on this epic adventure, the greatest D&D DM in all the land here. It's Nate Gonzalez. Take it away, Nate.
Boo, 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 boo. Thank you, Solrat the Destroyer. Yes, and welcome everyone to tonight's Monday night edition of Goblins Under the Stairs. Oge, boge, boge, boge. Yeah, had a nice little break off the game for I guess a week and a day, and ready to jump back into this damn thing and get the adventurers on their travels up to finally stop these motherfucking fire giants. So let's just do a quick little recap to refresh everyone's memories of what happened the last time we were all together and jump on into this thing. So the last time we were all together, the wrecking crew began the night continuing their travels and stopping for some mysterious fruits and vegetables along the road. Paid a couple of coins to these random basket out there and collected some potatoes and peaches and apples and all sorts of good things and continued on their way studying and working on their tomes and doing all the practices of arithmetic and everything that they can learn from these tomes that they've found from Moongleam Tower. And Wilmore and Solrak were able to complete reading their books and gain a little bit more. Wilmore with a charisma boost and Solrak with an intelligence boost. And that night, of course, under the full moon, Solrak had to fight back that liking curse that has afflicted him for the last month or two now. And he was able to fight it off the first night with some help from Wilmore Chaddington, helping him with the Wolfsbane and giving him some guidance. And seeing that his buddy Solrak was alright for the night, he went off to find himself a secluded area and performed a ritual to his patron, Frank the Balor, on this night of the full moon. Frank appeared and apparated in front of Wilmore, giving him a bit of information about himself, his background, and a arch rival Balor that he's been going at with for centuries now, and that this Balor Ertu has teamed up with Loth, the Spider Queen of the Drow, and possibly looking to team up with another wizard to continue on with his path to complete dominance and showing that he's superior to Frank the Balor. So with this all learned, you went to sleep, Wilmore, and the next day came along. Bork finished up his item that he crafted for Wilmore, a nice little silver tooth cap with a gemstone on it. And once again, the night came along. Solrak had to fight off that liking curse and was able to do so. And the next day, on this third day of travel here, or I guess the sixth day fully here, on your path to Citadel Felbar, you guys finally made it there, crossing this long expanse bridge, going under a couple of archways with beautifully carved from the dwarven work, and approaching the rune gate, the stone doors that are the entrance to Citadel Felbar, with the 32 different deadly runes inscribed on it. Upon stating who you guys were and your purpose, you were granted access to speak with Queen Tithel and King Morin, and speak to them about your purpose of going to Iron Slag and trying to stop the fire giants, and if they had any information that could be helpful for you all. You guys learned that there's possibly a entrance to Iron Slag up on the top of the mountain where the Yokfolk village resides, behind a water wheel that is up there. Also met another dwarven warrior, an elder man named Reginald Roundshield, who seemed to have some sort of connections with having to fight Drow over many years and protecting Gauntlgrim from Drow invasions. He was one that actually had to recover the Gauntlgrim from House Zalaran, the Drow family, the third Drow house of Menzo Baranzin, in the favor of the Spider Queen Loth, and they were taking over Gauntlgrim for quite some time, and Reginald Roundshield came in there with the older king of Citadel Felbar and reclaimed the land for the dwarves once more. So he knows that the Drow, of course, stealing Megara from the forges, are looking to possibly take Gauntlgrim back once again, and with the fire giants on their side, and the Drow helping them, pretty certain that the fire giants are going to help them by taking out the dwarves, who are the Drow's enemies, of course, and the ones that are standing in their way from these forges and these lands that they want to take over. So, with a bit of meat in your belly and some strong ale and eating some suckling pig at this feast hall, you guys all found some rooms in the barracks in the main citadel area, found some shut-eye, and got to sleep for the evening. Woke up the next morning feeling nice and rejuvenated, meeting Reginald Roundshield out in the main hall. You see him standing there all ready for you guys to come out there and to lead you guys on to this travel. He stands out there in this nice armor that you guys didn't see him in the night before, with these two lion heads sculpted on his shoulder pads in a adamantine type of metal, a very strong metal. And he's got a battle axe in his hand that you guys saw earlier the night before, with a couple notches in it. And you see some sort of dwarven runes inscribed on the side of it. And of course, he's got a buckler round shield in his other arm. Seems like it has a few notches in it from many years and experience on the battlefield. And then, most importantly, on his head, you guys see he's wearing a helm with a singular horn on it on one side. The other horn on the other side has been broken off, again, showing his experience and many years in the battlefield. And as you guys wake up and see him out there, he begins to lead you guys out to the opposite side of the citadel, into the mine shafts, where you guys take a couple of mine carts through the long labyrinth of the mines of Citadel Felbar on the northern side of the mountain of the Ralvin Mountains here. And you guys push through about a half day's travel on these carts and through this mountain and the mines, and you guys emerge on the other side, the north side of the Ralvin Mountains, with a large kind of crystal looking lake in front of you, with a crystal blue water lake in front of you. And seems to be that there's a stream that runs up north from it and from the south east of it. And you guys can see up far in the distance ahead a ice coated topped mountains in the distance to the east of a very thick forest land. And as you guys emerge out of here, Reginald Roundshield would say, "Well, fellas, looks like we got ourselves a long bit of travel ahead of us. Anything you all would like to do before we hit the old dusty trails?"
I think I'd just like to say, you came prepared, my friend. That little old Reggie. And then, that's it.
Yeah, Reginald, if you don't mind me asking, where'd you get that armor? What is that? Adamantine?
Yes, it's ancestral. It's been in our family for quite some time now. It's we made it in Gauntlgrim. We've my family, we reclaimed Mithril Hall many years ago, and there the streams ran with silver. It was gorgeous, the ore that was in the hall, and of course took back some of the steel and the ore and metals, and crafted these ourselves.
Amazing. I was gonna say, if you know where to find that, maybe Solrak could use something like that.
Yeah, he's you're muted, Solrak.
He's awfully quiet today, isn't he? It's a good day.
I was trying to use this magical trick called my inside voice, but I guess I need to use the outside. They aren't smart enough to hear me, but it happens. Now, Reggie, do you mind if I call you Reggie?
I prefer Reginald, but maybe if we get along a bit more, we can see how it goes.
Oh, there's some fine armor, indeed. To agree with Fang. Now, I wouldn't imagine it would be easy to find something like that for myself, would it? Being as you mentioned, it comes from years and years of family inbreeding or whatever.
Well, as oh, we lost one of them. There he is. Well, as I mentioned the last night, how I brought on a daughter, or call her my daughter, Caddy Bree. She was an orphan from a goblin and orc raid, and a barbarian Wolfgar. I told you about the battles that I saved him from. Well, Wolfgar, treat him as my own flesh and blood, my son, and I crafted him a warhammer, called it Agus Fang, and you know, maybe if you get on my side well enough, as get you on likings of a son, my own kin, and we see how it goes.
Well, I do have some daddy issues, so. All right.
This is a magnificent warhammer I built for him. He had great strength to be able to throw this warhammer. Most people can only wield it in hand and use it in melee range, but he was able to throw it, and upon hitting its target, it was able to fly back into his hands.
Oh, Boomer Hammer. Hammerang.
That's stupid. It was Agus Fang was the name of it. It was a work of art. I should have kept it for the halls of Mithril Hall, and it could have been up on the walls with my name below it for centuries, but seeing him slay and slaughter all those goblins and orcs on the field made it all worth it. It put it in his hands instead.
Yeah. Flashing and bashing always makes me feel better, too.
I like you. I like you. Well, fellas, we have a bit more sunlight ahead of us. Shall we get on with our trails?
Yes, let's take advantage of this. Me and Cuomo will go up into the air, get some visuals up there for the entirety of our trek
Aye,
while you guys are down here.
that's a great idea. I like that. So, aerial
Thank you.
scouting.
Of course, that's so Cuomo's good for. Not just that, but it's definitely got an advantage. So Cuomo, why don't we hip on up?
All right. As Cuomo takes to the air, you guys begin walking up this path. Not really much of a path, rather. It's you guys begin walking through this like mountainous grassland, crossing over the stream with the woods up to your northwest and the ice-peaked mountains to your northeast. As you guys begin traveling on, as I said, it's a bit later in the early afternoon, later in the day altogether now, as you guys had to escape through the mountains. And if you guys would like to make a survival roll for me, we can see how you progress.
Oh, baby, baby.
Ooh, there's a good one.
21 here.
21.
That one.
Yay! Bringing it down.
So
We got a 5.
Bringing down the
42,
class.
47 divided by 3 is 15.
Oh, we're good. We're good. Yeah, 15 2/3.
Yeah, okay, cool. So everyone roll a d4 for me, please. 2 of these will go towards progress. Just barely made it.
1.
3. See, I'm more of a finisher kind of guy.
Solrak with the 2, so I believe
5 and 1.
5 and 1. 5 to progress, 1 to encounter. Alright.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. You guys continue traveling on for a few more hours, passing through this grassy lands. Nothing too noticeable comes about on this evening, nothing too exciting. You guys get it right about, I'll move the token a bit to see, oops, let me turn on the measuring again. You guys make it just about here on the other side of the river. And find a spot to camp out for the night. There's nothing that you guys want to do in particular for this evening. We can just keep on pushing forward.
So, actually, there's something that I'm going to start doing every evening
Okay.
once everybody goes to sleep.
Do you want to just tell me this, or do you want to tell everyone this?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell just you.
All right, you can message me on Discord or something.
Beating it.
Cool.
Is it still a full moon or?
You guys have made it past the full moon stages
Okay.
now. Yeah. All good on that.
I lay down and take a nice little nappy nap.
All right. All right. Fang, anything that you do for this evening?
Hmm. Um. Let's see. Yes, Cuomo and I. What is the terrain of which we're starting to, I guess, set up camp?
It's just you guys are pretty much like in a grassland right now.
Grassland, some
Yes.
trees.
Really not much trees around you guys.
Hmm.
And Reginald, of course, did bring his own tent, two-person tent to set up.
Ah.
So, if someone needs to share a tent space with him, he would definitely offer that.
Mine fits too, so someone can bunk with me. I prefer the little one.
All right,
Let's
Reginald. I
chat.
guess that's you and me then, bud.
Aye, aye. Hope you don't make too much stinkies in the night.
Nah, that's just Sorek.
He looks like he would.
Mm.
All that beef, I'm sure he eats.
It's disgusting.
Hey, takes a lot to make all this man muscle happen, alright? Smell of success. Oh, yeah. That one rip.
Disgusting. All right, fellas. I think you probably sent that to everyone.
Nah, just you. It's a DM.
It's to everyone.
It's to everyone.
Really? Ah.
Yeah, all good.
That's stupid. Well, I don't know what I'm doing.
I love it though. Alright, Solrak, you go out.
That's good. Actually, Feng didn't see it because this thing just dropped.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Thing keeps dropping.
That's perfect then. So, Solrak, you go out and you find a secluded area for yourself where, no one else is right around you to watch whatever you'd like to do for this evening. And you go out there and you start, shadowboxing, I guess, and you start practicing.
Sorry
out
about
there.
touching myself.
Go ahead and make an athletics check for me, please.
A 10.
10? Okay. You go out there for about a half an hour, 45 minutes, doing whatever you'd imagine Solrak to be doing to accomplish this. I'm trying not to give too much away if you don't want to. But, yeah, so Solrak, you go out there and you start getting a bit tired. The night has, kind of come up now. The stars are in the sky, and you're feeling like it's probably time for you to make your way back to camp, accomplish what you're trying to do here, and maybe get some rest now.
Ooh.
Cool.
I'll lay down and, get some rest.
Love it. Alright. Everyone can take a long rest if you need to then. Next morning comes, you guys wake up as the wind is kind of blowing against your tents a bit and making that rackety kind of like the noise of the fabric, the linens of your tent blowing around in the wind. And it is a bit chillier this morning as you guys emerge from your sleep in your tents. And Fang just can't handle it on his bald scalp. The wind is just blowing him too much. And Wilmore, his bald scalp as well, can't handle the wind. And no, but you guys get up and Reginald is already ready to go. Leads you guys up and says, "All right, guys, let's go hit the dust trail and make moves. We should be able to get there in just 2 more days if we make good time. Get our marches in."
Let's roll out, gentlemen.
All right. Survival checks for everyone, please. And if anyone wants to be doing anything while you guys are traveling as well, feel free to let me know. It is a bit windier and chillier today. Okay, everyone roll a d4. Except for Luke.
He's having some issues.
Jesus Christ, what is up with my shit right now?
Well, is it your Discord or is it everything?
Everything is slow. And
Interesting.
then my Discord's dropping. But I rolled an 8.
Yes, now a d4 for me, please.
Alright.
You guys averaged. You're gonna get 2 of these towards encounter and 1 towards progress.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
She's rolling. Taking a lot. 3.
All right, so I'm assuming the 4 to progress
Mm-hmm.
and 5 total to encounter. Okay.
Wah, wah.
Womp womp indeed. All right, so you guys continue on. Was there anything anyone wanted to do while you guys were traveling?
I'm gonna keep a lookout to make sure that we're not alone. I'm gonna be
Okay.
keeping my hearing and my smelling on point.
All right. Absolutely. Make a perception check as you continue on your travels.
I also have Cuomo doing that while we're in the air.
Okay. You want Cuomo to be doing perception or like looking for like tracks and stuff for survival instead?
Specifically, like, yeah, I would say tracks, any signs of other life
Yeah.
within the area.
Let's do a survival then. Let's mix things up a little bit.
For Cuomo, I'll roll a flat d20 and then add his modifier.
Yeah, your stuff is slow, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
4?
4. Not that it matters.
Don't worry about it. So, Solrak, you guys are walking along this grassy lands here, pretty much making it to just about here where I just moved the token, with the forest land to your west, as you guys are approaching the Icespire Mountains. And as you are walking up here, and you're kind of like checking out everything that's around you, making sure that you're not alone, or that you are alone, and there's nothing threatening nearby. You begin looking around, and you don't see anything nearby you, and you begin to use your lichen senses to sniff around. And as you begin to sniff around, you kind of start getting this filthy, musty smell in the area.
Is it a familiar, filthy, musty smell?
You can either make a survival or a yeah, let's do survival.
18.
It is somewhat familiar to you. There was a time when you were traveling from Nightstone with the party, and you guys ran into a couple of creatures on your travel from Nightstone to Waterdeep that this stench reminds you of. There were a couple of hill giants.
Oh shit. Okay, well, I'm gonna warn the party of what I smell. I'll tell Chaddington to send a message to Fang up there, so then we can watch out for these nasty bastards.
Yep. Send a message up to him and say, keep an eye out for hill giants, apparently.
Hill giants. Let me take a closer look as Fang surveys the land.
Okay, yeah, make a perception check for me. How high up in the air are you?
We are about 40 feet up.
Okay. And are you over the grasslands currently, along with everyone? Because
yeah,
you guys are on the
saying
grasslands, and there's wooded lands to your west as well.
No, I'm staying right above the group.
Sure. So yep, perception.
Yep, she's coming.
She's coming. Also, just a little side note, Luke, you can go into your Google Chrome settings and go to System and turn on hardware acceleration. So click like the 3 dots.
Yeah.
Whoopsies, I just did something. And go to Settings, and then System, and then hardware acceleration.
It's clicked on.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so Fang, you begin looking around after you get the message up from Wilmore about fire or hill giants in the area, and you begin looking around and don't see any signs of the hill giants anywhere. But
Hey, Nate. Can you hold off for just 1 sec? I think my stuff is consistently rolling 4s.
Yes, let's do it one more time. Do another perception check.
Because that's my 3rd 4 in a row.
I hope it's not.
Ah, shit.
Might be. All right.
Alright.
You have physical dice in front of you, right?
Yeah, I have real dice.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
11 plus 4 is 15.
Okay, sure. So, as you're on Cuomo's back and surveying the land all around you, you start to see, as you know, you're just above everyone else and everyone's walking up the path. Just off this, where you guys are walking, kind of near the tree line, you can see a large, kind of giant-sized sack, just abandoned and lying there.
Just the sack.
That's all you see is a sack there. Yep.
Okay.
By the way, real quick, once I smelled the giants, I took stored away my swords and I took out my giant slayer greatsword as well.
Noted. Thank you.
Okay. Cuomo, let's fly on down with the gang and let them know what I see. So we fly on down and we swoop down. And from here on out, Cuomo and I will continue the journey on foot. Gents, just off the trail a little bit of a way is a giant sack that I saw. I didn't see
Wait. You saw a giant sack?
I know. You probably would have liked to see it before I did.
Well, how big was this thing?
Giant.
With a huge sack. It's a giant, right? It's just a one sack, or...
It's almost as big as Chaddington's.
Wow.
That's a big sack, my friend.
Big
And
sack.
that thing goes, that's never ending. Wow.
Huge sack.
Sack.
So.
I'm surprised to stomp on it. Hairs
But I
on this sack?
But I didn't see any giants.
Oh, you meant the bag. Sorry. Totally. Got it.
Yeah, so like I said, I didn't see any giants, just this humongous sack.
Well, maybe we should go check it out. I mean, is it big enough to fit like a seaman in it?
Maybe 4 seamen.
Maybe a pirate or something. Let's just go check it out. Why don't you lead the way here?
Yeah. I know exactly where it is. Come on.
As you begin leading the way up towards this this giant sack, you are taking them up to the where you see it spread out there.
I'm leading them the way.
Yep. And you get up to it, and you see some contents spreading out of it. Seems like there's a couple of like helms that have been dented and broken, bits and pieces chipped off of it, kind of spread out throughout it. A couple of broken barrels, and even sticking out of it, you can see like what look like some roots of like an uprooted berry bush or something.
Looks like maybe they might have discarded this sack in quite a hurry. Just kind of peeking up and looking in it.
And Wilmer, as you say that, you guys all hear at the same time a distant kind of hoarse roar, about 100 yards away from you. Maybe a bit less than that.
Tide.
Solrek, do you smell anyone or anything nearby?
And Fang, real quick, before that, with your passive perception, because it's pretty decent, you would recognize that kind of hoarse, kind of screeching sound as to be from a hippogriff.
Guys, that sounds like a hippogriff. Do we know if hill giants use hippogriffs?
I highly doubt. I feel like they're a little too heavy. They could be fighting right now.
I feel like if there's hill giants here, they probably found themselves a lunch.
Well,
I mean,
Is there any... So I'm looking on the ground to see if there's any signs of which direction hill giants would have gone.
Yeah, make a survival check.
Alright.
any tracks.
11.
11.
Yep.
So So as you kind of step back from this large sack, you can see these big barefoot footprints. Yeah, it's hilarious. I know. You see these large barefoot footprints, kind of leading away from it and going into the wooded area slightly. You can see
Do
it
they
kind of
lead in
fading
the
off.
direction? Do they lead in the direction of which we heard the noise?
Yes.
Gotcha. So yeah, gents, from the looks of these tracks and the noise of which we heard, yeah, I think Reginald is right that they have just found themselves some lunch.
Well, maybe let's take a quick peek inside this here sack. See if there's anything we can find useful, but I don't know if we should be here when they get back.
I agree with that 100%. Especially because, time is of the essence. I feel like we should just carry on.
I kind of muttered to myself, I guess we only care about one hippogriff in this group.
That's right. And he's a little statue. That's safely away.
What were in the cracked open barrels that we saw?
If you go over to check them out, you can smell that it's definitely some sort of ale that was inside of them.
Nothing of my liking.
Hey, Chattington. I get in here. I pick out my Giant Slayer sword, and I stab a big hole in it, so it starts like leaking out, and I take a big chug.
You guys hear another screeching sound nearby. Again, it sounds like it's in pain and going on. And you guys hear a kind of burbly voice yell, "Hey, Gog, that one's mine. Let me have it."
Now I feel kind of bad that Chattington. I don't care about hippogriffs. I'm contemplating.
I look over at Cuomo and I go, I guess you're the lucky one, buddy.
This breaks my heart, though.
You guys hear a smashing
Chattington.
sound in the distance.
Come with me, and I run in the direction of the shrieks.
Promo hip hip. We fly up.
I gingerly walk behind them, just going, it's probably too late, but
Okay. You guys all begin to quickly make haste in that direction, and Wilmore and Solrak leading the way, of course with Brutus in tow.